welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. What I want to talk about today is personal accountability. Before we get to that, let's talk about your week. What is it that you need to be accountable for? What do you need to do this week so that on Friday you can look back, say it's been a successful week, and that you're closer to your bigger goals? You know, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about it. What are the things that you need to change from a should do to a must do so that you can be closer to your goals and be more successful? So leave me a comment, send me a DM, send me an email at jeff@jeffheggie.com. Whatever it is that you want to be held accountable to, just put that out there and put it in writing and say, this is what I'm going to do. Then on Friday we'll talk more about it and see how you did. This last week in my Inner Circle Mastermind, we talked about personal accountability. One of the things I reflected on was a meeting we had when I was back in the banking industry up in Alberta, and our bank brought in David Irvine, and he spoke to us. And I'm going to leave the link to his book in the show notes because it's a great book. It's called Accountability: Getting a Grip on Results. And it's a message that stuck with me for years on what he said about being personally accountable and taking that leadership position with yourself. But to add to that, as I've talked about in other episodes, and I've had Jamie Beckler on other episodes with me, I've been reading his book, The Leadership Playbook, and I'm going to put the link to that book in the show notes as well because it is a fantastic book. The thing I want to talk about with his book is Jamie talks about using the word but and how it will devalue things, how it will devalue an apology, or how it will devalue you taking responsibility for something. You know, he talks about a pastor or a preacher that he had that said to him, never follow up an apology with the word but, it devalues the apology. So I want you to think of some different situations. An employee shows up for an appointment late and they say, I would have been here on time, but traffic was heavy. Someone does poor on a test. I would have done better on that test, but the teacher didn't tell us we had an exam today. I wouldn't have yelled at you, but you said something that made me angry. Let's look at a basketball situation, since I talk basketball all the time. I wouldn't have got that technical, but the ref made a bad call. Everything that we say there gets devalued as soon as we add anything after the but. So I want you to think of that. When I've got an employee that shows up late for an appointment, if they tell me, I would have been here on time, but the roads were too bad, the weather's bad, versus I would have shown up on time, but I didn't take into account the roads that were bad, and so I didn't leave in enough time to make it here. Very different situations there. When someone is trying to excuse themselves or make an excuse for themselves for doing something, they're not taking full responsibility. Back to Jamie's book, The Leadership Playbook, he also says, bottom line takeaway, if we truly want to be more successful, we must take full responsibility for our actions. When you add a but into your statement or make an excuse, you don't fully maximize your opportunities. So I want you to do that this week as you're going throughout your week, as you have conversations, especially if things don't go as planned. Listen how you're taking responsibility. Are you being accountable for your action? Or are you using the word but or other such words to try to justify why you did something or an action you did take? So hopefully this is helpful for you. I want to encourage you, go to jeffheggie.com, get my free momentum series there. I've had a few conversations lately with people that have really got a lot out of that. So I encourage you to go check that out. It's free. And as well, I just got a review from Misha about my High Achievers Mindset Secrets. Thank you for that, Misha. It was a great review. If you haven't checked out my High Achievers Mindset Secrets, go to mindset.jeffheggie.com. If you check that out and haven't been back, I've changed some things on there for the application process and the costs on it and whatnot. So go check that out because I've tried to make it so that more and more people can have access to it and it can change their lives. So thanks again for being with me, and I will be back and see you again tomorrow.